All right, sports fans, welcome to Sports Night with Jorge. A topic tonight we're going to talk about is actually our Miami Dolphins. Uh, Hearing all the news, media, whatever you want to call it out there about these two guys, about John Eric Sullivan, and also about our new head coach, Jeff Halfley. Listen, I'm going to bring my personal opinion on this, guys. It's early. Uh, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to these two guys here and the staffs that they're bringing in to the Miami Dolphins. You know, the only take I have with this guys is that I'm glad Miami has their new GM and the new head coach, collegiate guy from Boston College. That's where he coached in college. In the pro level, he's been a defensive coach, and that is Halfley. But at the same time, guys, let's be real. Let's be realistic. We don't know yet what's going to happen with this team. Looking forward with this team, I know there's excitement and everything for Dolphin fans, and I'm not taking that away from you guys either. But as a Dolphin fan, I have to see it to believe it, right? And that's probably one of our steps. And I'm gonna go ahead and talk about these other coaches that signed with other teams. But this is typically Miami Dolphins. If you're a Dolphin fan and you want to join the chat, that's fine. You could join the chat. There's things that I'm looking actually with this team that, as a fan, what do you want to see? Me as a podcaster, as a sports podcaster, as a Dolphin fan, also, uh, I would love this team to win, right? But there's a goal that we have to set, and that goal is winning the playoffs. Is winning the playoff will be enough for the Dolphin fans out there? Would it be enough? Just a playoff win, and we'll be okay with it. Win the first round of the playoffs, and because I'm gonna tell you right now, with the roster they have, guys, with the stuff that's happening right now with this team. Now, I'm not saying nothing negative. Okay, I want to guys. I understand this. I have my opinion. You have yours. I respect yours. You respect mine. Uh, I look at this team, and what do I see in this team? Right? Okay, it's not a rebuilding process. It's more like an evaluation process. Is Tua going to be here? The last video I saw, the coach Jeff talk about Tua, and it's about probably competing. All the quarterbacks will compete. Is he going to be here? My honest opinion, I don't think Tua is going to be here. That he might stay because of his contract, who knows? But their hands are full. Okay, the Miami Dolphin staff from top to bottom, their hands are full right now. What can they do? Now, I'm not going to get into no contract restructure, and I'm not going to get into things like that yet because I'll wait till it gets closer. Uh, they could do things. They could save some money here. They could, but still, the main one is Tua Tagovailoa contract, Bradley Chubb's contract, Tyreek Hill, and we know Tyreek Hill will not be here. My thing is, I saw these names mentioned by the coach, and Tua wasn't even mentioned. It's Zach Sealer, Devon A. Chain, the future of the Miami Dolphins. Names were mentioned, but Tua name was not mentioned. That makes you think a little bit, right? So out of the box. So hopefully, this staff that comes in, which I have full confidence on Sullivan, the GM. I don't have still the full confidence on Jeff Haley. I mean Halfley, because he is new to this, from a defensive coach to a team coach, and he would say he'll manage the defensive side of the team. I mean, are we going to walk into another disaster? We just don't know. I don't think defensive coaches do well in the league when they coach the team. I'm not saying they all do, they all don't, but it draws a red flag for me, it draws a red flag. So my comments is this: I'm not too crazy, too optimistic. I'm going, wow. This is. I'm gonna wait and see what happens, and I think that's what we all should be waiting as a fan. But in the chat, you could join in. You could have your opinion, express your opinion. What do you think? I know we need a fresh start, but this is the 12th head coach for this franchise. Okay, 12 head coaches, and that right there should draw you a flag. Coaches don't last too long in Miami. Now, I was doing the research, and I talked about it on my last podcast about, you know, hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining in. Uh, but we have to be realistic. You have coaches that give 3-year contract, 5-year contract, so they can develop and start doing something and show something for the team and see how well he does. But these 3-year contract, uh, I'm looking at it and they don't make it. Really don't have good numbers, like 38% winning percentage with a 3-year contract. 5 years, now you're talking about, let's see what you develop. When I see the 5-year contract, it throws me a scare. The 3-year doesn't scare me, but the 5-year does. Why? Because they know you're gonna have 2 bad years and then you're gonna have 3 good years. If it happens, right? If it does happen, because this is the way the league works. This is the way things happen in this league. So let's be honest. Okay, so I look at this and I look at this team. They got plenty of good stars. They have a great roster, not the best roster, but they got good players. Now, can you keep all these good players? Because, man, here comes the draft pick. And I've been thinking this all this week. Now, I haven't gone live lately, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. You too. Take care, too. Thank you. And things like that, it makes me think, okay, does the Miami Dolphins really have the staff, the potential to make it to the next level? Do they really have this roster? I mean, I listened at the coach talking in the podium, and I feel his emotion, his expression, and about the team and the love of the game. And I have nothing against that, guys. I mean, it's great, but now you got to hit the field and do your homework. And we have a long road ahead of us. And I'm trying to be as optimistic as I can and positive as a Dolphin fan, and I'm gonna remain positive. Okay, yeah, a new regime, a new change. Are we seeing the same thing over and over again? We don't know. We might not say it, but we actually don't know it until we see it. We actually have no way of saying, hey man, this team is going to turn it around in 2026, 20. Let's be honest. I'm going to be straight honest with you guys. I don't feel that way. I feel that the coach, like I told you in the beginning of the program, has his hands full. He's going to have to make a tough decision. Uh, and I'm using an example right now. Let's look at Harbaugh for example. Okay, Harbaugh signs a 5-year contract, $100 million. Right? I'm going to tell you something. Those 5 years that Harbaugh signed in New York, the fans at least going to want 2 Super Bowls. That, I mean, you pay a coach so much money, a staff so much money, but he needs to produce. And knowing New York, especially the Giants and the Jets, okay, they're gonna say, "Hey, you got 5 years. I want 2 Super Bowls." So look at the pressure already on the coach, on the head coach of especially the Giants. I'm not talking Miami because Miami for me is, and I don't want to say rebuilding, but they're gonna have to structure the whole thing. You know, I'm worried now when they come out with it. It's a new culture. I don't know how many times I'm gonna hear that from all different coaches. What culture? What culture are you talking about? Now, I'm not saying that Sullivan is a bad GM. I'm not saying that Jeff is it's a bad head coach. Because to be honest with you, we just don't know that. We know from Sullivan how's a GM, but we don't know anything about Jeff besides his defensive coordinator position in Green Bay. Let's be honest. I mean, you can say whatever you want. Yeah, and you could get in the podium and say, hey, and fill yourself with words and say, hey, listen, it's well encouraging for the fans to hear. Hey, we got somebody out there that's gonna have accountability, is gonna have control. We just don't know. We just don't know. I mean, because we can't make this up. And all these coaches that going from team to team, you don't think the pressure's on? Because the Atlanta Falcons, Stefanski. I mean, listen, take me to the playoffs. Take me somewhere. And the pressures goes. I mean, it just go on, and it's so difficult to play in this league, to coach in this league with the staff that you got in there, and the egos and the pride and the money and the contract. It's just strictly a business, right? It's a business, and it's kind of hard to do that. Thank you so much for the hearts. I appreciate it. But that's something that I say. We could sit here all night and talk about the Miami Dolphins and about any NFL team. But listen, what is everybody's goal, right? Their goal is to what? To win a Super Bowl. Imagine 32 teams, only two makes it, right? Let's be honest, only two makes it. Okay, but it's the pressure. I mean, look at and I'm gonna go back to John Harbaugh. Listen, I'm glad the Dolphins didn't get him. I'll be honest with you. Not that he's a bad coach. Mike Tomlin is another example, a winningest coach. They cut him loose. You guys get McCarthy. By the way, they did ask McCarthy if he would like to get Aaron Rodgers back. Sure, why not? But at the same time, he threw back a little bit. I mean, sometimes, let's be honest, there's times that pass us by and we move on, and we have to learn how to move on. We don't want to move on from it, but we have to learn. Now, I'm trying to stay positive, guys. Don't get me wrong, and girls. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to keep something here that we're building a foundation. Well, how long are we building a foundation? 26 years without a playoff win. But we have been there before. We lost to Kansas City in the cold weather, and then we lost to who? The Buffalo Bills. So let's be honest. We gotta be honest with ourselves. I mean, we can't sit here and says, "Oh man, we these two guys that just got in here, yeah, they're gonna change it around. I believe they're gonna change it around. I believe that something good is gonna happen. But we gotta see it as fans. We got to believe it as fans. We can't sit here and say, "Hey, it's gonna happen," right? Well, we haven't seen it, so we can't say it. So we gotta see it to believe it. And once it happened, we could talk here anything you want about. Because let me tell you something: the moment they start losing, you're gonna have fan base that says, "Well, I knew about it. They're gonna lose. I know they weren't that good. Give them time." Yeah, I mean, Aqua. I mean, the reason why I came live, and by the way, I'm sorry, because my OBS was giving me problems. Don't ask me why. Don't know how the channel looks tonight. I'm trying to be as positive as I can and tell Dolphin fans out there that I love these two guys. I like what they hired, but I'm not too crazy about it because we have to give them time. We got to give them a chance. Now Sullivan, I'm okay. The head coach, I think I told you a couple of times, I don't feel comfortable. And when you get to a podium and you start talking and saying, "Hey man, I promise this, I do that," and suddenly, because listen, he is walking into a major mess. We got to be realistic on this. Now I could tell you this: if you saw his interview, I think it was today or a couple of days ago, Tua is not in the conversation. Tua is not even in the future of this team. Okay, and we know. I think we probably knew that already. What's going to happen to Tua? We have no idea. He's going to compete for well, he might compete for his position, but who knows? We just don't know right now. But the way we seeing things down as fans, and I try to stay positive once again, guys. Trying to stay positive. That's what I want you guys feedback. And I know that you say, "Hey, give them a chance." But here's the thing: it's the fan base. Will the fan base give them a chance? And I don't think the fan base is going to give Miami a chance. Why? Because they want to win now. Okay, thank you so much, man. Because I was worried. When I came in today, I plugged it up and it was giving me an error completely. And it says, re-download, download it. I said, what in the world happened to this channel? I mean, but I'm looking at other sources also. So My thing is going back to the Dolphins and the ownership with Stephen Ross. I still believe that Ross should give this to his daughter, to his family, turn into give it to the kids. I think he's getting old already, and nothing wrong with that. It's just that time to move on. But how long is going to take this regime? If you look at it, basically we got half of the coach of the Green Bay Packers in our staff. I mean, we had an offensive coach leave. We had our defensive coach probably leaving too. Yeah, and that's see, and you're right, Aquavale. It's the fan base. The moment this and listen, I have patience, right? And some don't have patience. But when this happens, okay, when the season begins, when the draft comes in and the free agency comes in, and because man, I was seeing the payroll. Oh my God, that listen, if they do something with this payroll, or you want to call it payroll, or structure these the salary caps. I give them kudos. I give them credit. To be honest with you, what they could do with it. But my gosh, it is going to be hard and difficult for the Dolphins in 2026, 2027. It might take 2 years. It might take 2 years. Okay, and quarterback, I believe our quarterback is probably going to be Quinn Ewers. Maybe down the road, I don't know if we're going to get one in the draft. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if they're going to look for one. All I know, the Tua job is not secured. That I can tell you, according to what I'm seeing, I'm hearing, and it's all over the media, and just that's just media. But that's one thing that I'm actually worried about. I mean, it is a new era. It's a new regime. Okay, we're starting from scratch. But man, he is the 12th coach of this franchise. Man, the Steelers just hired the second coach, McCarthy. You know, it's probably the third coach. Sorry, the third coach because they had Chuck Noll. Then they had So I look at all that and I'm saying, what in the world? I mean, in franchise history, if you got five coaches in 20 years, that's not bad. We have 12 head coaches. It's not, and that's not even counting the intern coaches that were let go. Uh, it's it's gonna be tough. Yeah, I'm looking at the guy from Green Bay, Malik. That's the guy they like. Uh, but what I don't want, to be honest with you, what I don't want is that they bring all this staff here from Green Bay, and man, we'll get disappointed. That's what I. That is probably one of my biggest fear right now. To say, man, they come in and this goes a disaster. Now, you might have said that I sound kind of negative, but no, give me a second. And that's one thing that I'm actually worried about the Miami Dolphins in 2026. I'm telling everybody, don't expect something big this year. I really don't. I mean, just look at the schedule, and they haven't released it yet, but look, they're the highest uh, rate on schedule facing teams that would playoff. I think eight teams that they're going to face eight teams. I think they're playoff teams. So that's going to be very interesting. Uh, can the Miami Dolphin probably give us a miracle? Who knows? I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Who knows? Maybe this team could really turn it around. I mean, I'm not gonna have no doubts, but at what I'm seeing right now, what I'm hearing right now, and of course I'm only seeing, hearing, and you can't believe everything you hear. But I'm hearing these coaches and this GM talk. And if you haven't checked Aquaville, there's a video with Heffley talking, one of the sports writer. Uh, I forgot who it was. If I remember the name, but it's out there. And when he mentioned Tua Tagovailoa, his name wasn't mentioned. I mean, from the coach, everybody has an open. And listen, I understand he's saying that you can have a quarterback out there that's playing with no offensive line and getting hurt all the time, and no protection. But then he also says you got to be a quarterback to know to win in the fourth quarter. when to come back in the fourth quarter, put your team in a better position. But see, that comes with coaching too, not only Tua Tagovailoa. It comes with the players that you have too. So my thing is it's going to be very interesting for the Dolphins 2026, man. I'm trying to get a lot of information that I would like to get. Knowing this guy. Remember, this guy came from Boston College. That's his experience in collegiate. Now in the NFL, yes. Yeah, I forgot the guy name. I think he's with NFL Network. If I'm correct, I could be wrong. Uh, and listen, I'm like, wow. I mean, this is why you have to, get involved and listen to this because when we all listen as podcaster, we all gonna have a different opinion from it. We're gonna hear it, see it, and we're gonna have a different opinion about it. Because when you hear the guy talk, you like, wow, man. I mean, when him talking, you can see already that Tua Tagovailoa it's not gonna be with the Dolphins. Whether they're gonna take the hit, take the cut, take the cap space and say, hey, heck with it. Remember they did it to Russell Wilson in Denver, and Sean Payton did it, and look at the results. You see, I'm gonna say something, and I know that we're not. And when I talk about New England, people don't like it in the Jets. Grable did a good job in his first year. He did. Took New England, and we all said it, and I even said it. This team will be in last place. This team was not going to make it. This team was not good enough. Now that Grable gave him a better chance of winning, yes, Grable gave him a better chance of winning. As coaching wise, as helping New England Patriots wise. But now, the only thing I don't want to say this because I know it hurts when I say this. I hope we're not the laughing stock of the market. I know with this new GM and this new head coach, when you hear him speak, I know they have a different perspective of the team, different, and the word culture, man. Every time I hear that word culture, it just gives me, how many culture we're going to change with the Dolphins? Listen, McDaniel goes to the Chargers, and then he takes along his offensive coordinator to San Diego. I'm like, wow. Or to Los Angeles, sorry, Los Angeles Chargers. I forgot they changed cities. So, don't know, man. I know a change had to be made. And I tell you to Dolphin fans, yes, a change had to be made. But did we make the right move? That's my question. How do we know that? We just don't know it right now. We all assume that everything looks good on paper. But like I said, on paper, it doesn't mean anything. Now I'm gonna give the coach a chance. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna give the coach a chance, and why not? And Sullivan, like I say, one heck of a GM. I mean, I saw his background, his scouting report. I mean, things that he does. He does great things. I'm not saying nothing from Sullivan because, from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, to Love, to picking up Matthew, the defensive player. Good draft. I mean, the guy's smart. Let's leave it to that. He's smart. But this year with the coach, don't know. I'll be lying to you if he's walking into probably a big mess. And let me tell you, if he cleans it up, and him, because it's like I say, they got their homework cut out for them. And I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to say nothing negative about the team. I just have my personal opinion on it. I mean, rebuilding is not the word because I look at all these owners that have signed all these head coaches right now. Think about it. The pressure they're in because we want to win. And we want to win now. Now, coaches that were let go, they make no sense. Like McDermott from the Buffalo Bills. I would have taken a shot for him. I'll be honest with you. But then I can see all these coaches have been 10, 15 years in their ball club, and maybe their time has pass them by, and then they move on. I mean, Mike Tomlin, come on. Listen, I take Mike Tomlin all win. I know he went 0-7 in the playoffs, but I take all his win. Why not? I'll take Mike Tomlin. The way right now we had two what back to back two losing season. Hey, at least with Mike Tomlin we had winning season. Who knows? But of course, where it counts is the playoffs. But hey, at least they made it. Miami didn't. And then I feel bad for John Smith. I feel bad for Ramsey. The comment trash talk will always be there, man. Trash talk will be always. That's why I don't get involved too much in the media, because that's what they're good for. Trash talking and I don't want to get involved in any stuff of that, because really, I rather hear from the horse mouth, from the player's mouth. If they have to say something, they have to criticize something. I don't mind. But man, it is right now, and to a point that this team. I just say this, Dolphin fans, hold on to your pants. Just hold on to your pants. It's going to be a season of a lot of I'm not going to say turmoil, of a lot of responsibility, probably liability, accountability. Uh, what players would like to play here, I don't know, because it's yes, that's all that comes in play. Why? Because you just don't know if an example. Thank you for the hearts. If these players want to play for this coach, we just don't know that. I mean, and I say that because, you know, he hasn't coached yet. Let's see off season. What I mean, I don't know. I mean, for me. And I'm not trying to be second guessing here. Let's be realistic about it, right? You put a coach in there and you say, "Wow, what can he do?" Now, McDaniels, when he came in and helped Tua, 'cause that's what McDaniel. Let's give him credit to McDaniel. He came in, he told Tua when he was in the air. Remember in the aircraft and the airplane, he told Tua, "Hey man, how you doing, man? When we get there, it's gonna get better." And he did. He made Tua a heck of a player. Not the last 2 years, but he developed him. But after that, it's on Tua. It's not on McDaniel. All McDaniel did was make bad decisions. Uh, and I mean bad decisions in the sense of he need to learn how to make adjustment, and we know that already, right? Because it sounds like a broken record, and we knew it already as fans. As every game, we started bad, then we got good, then we got bad again, back to the drawing board. And one thing I know about the NFL, you gotta be consistent. You gotta be consistent. Now, those of you who have joined the chat, now you have not joined the chat, even though the chat's over, leave your comment. What do you think about these two duo? Do you think these two guys, I mean, besides Sullivan, like I say, I'm not worried with Sullivan at all. I like his demeanor, his experience in the NFL, his scouting report. I mean, the guy, the other guy, yes, I'm the only thing that I'm worried about, guys. It's just, uh, are we in for a long season? Yeah, yes, we are. No other way to say it. Now that anything can happen for this team when we start winning, man, if we start winning, I'll tell you something. But I'm gonna leave you with this question: are you content of making the playoff, or are you content going to the Super Bowl? And that's his first year. I don't want to hear second year, third year. In his first year, what is your expectation as a fan for this team right now with the crew they just hired, with Sullivan and Jeff Hafley? That's one thing I want to tell the fans. What are you looking for? Are you content with these two guys that could get the job done in year one, or you're content they're going to do this between 2 to 3 years? It's going to take. Just think about it. And I even asked myself that. I said, "Wow, I mean, can they actually do it?" And they could, if they could get the roster where they need to be. But that's another thing. Roster issue. cap issue. Draft, it'll be very interesting in the draft. Don't be surprised they trade players in the draft. Well, you see, that's what I'm saying, Aquavale. See, you feel the same way I feel. Even though I put that question out there, right? Because we just don't know what we have. Because according to what you said there, for me is, are we believing in this new regime? I mean, I'm not saying that they're bad, okay? They do come from a winning franchise, which is the Green Bay Packers, okay? But my thing is, how confident you feel? That's what I ask myself. How confident? I feel confidence enough to know what I have as a GM, but I don't feel confident enough what I have as a head coach. That makes sense. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I want people to understand that. Of course, everybody has a different opinion, different way of seeing things, but that's my only thing that I'm worried about right now. Is actually the head coach. Did I think they should have get him? If they did, because Sullivan, I mean that's okay. But I was looking, like you said, Chris Shula. I was looking at Kubiak. I was looking at McDermott. I was looking, and that's the only thing that maybe because we know big name coaches, right? And that's probably that's what it is as fans and as podcaster, and we hear that because, like an example, when we heard that, and I'm using this as an example, the moment you heard that Rivers was coming back to the league and playing for the Colts, you got happy, you got excited because you know who River is. Man, I love that quarterback. Great, one of the days he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. You see, that's what I'm trying to say. When you see this Halfley guy, all you know about Halfley is great defensive coach. That's it. Good defensive coach down in Green Bay. You know, if you even send LaFleur from Green Bay Packers, that then you say, okay, now we got a coach. But now, I mean, you just step back and say, okay, here we go. And let's be honest, same thing as McDaniel, running back coach, offensive running back coach at San Francisco 49ers. Then he was like what offensive coach for another team. I forgot who it was. I mean, he spread around this league anyhow, all over. But he was an offensive guy. But look what he did. He comes to Miami, but he wasn't a coach. Now, if he told me, hey man, he coached 2 years, let's say in Cleveland, or he coached 3 years in San Diego, or I mean, California, or he coached 3 years in the LA Raiders, but he didn't. He came out of an offensive, regime thing from 49ers because he was a smart guy, and he is. I give him credit. I give McDaniel credit. Okay, how smart he is. Because look, did he get hired as a coach? No, the Chargers got him as an offensive coordinator, and he's bringing one of his offensive coordinator with him. So, you know, that's one thing I just don't understand. And then we'll get this guy, and I don't know. I just feel and listen to what I hear. And like I said, I don't believe everything I hear, but the comments they hear. And I'm not saying nothing bad about the guy. I'm like I say once again, uh, I gotta give him a chance, like you said, Alcovale. Give him the opportunity, give him a chance, let him show what he could do. But man, this is not what we need. If you tell me you hire a Mike Tomlin, a McDermott, uh, Kubiak, even Chris Shula, even Chris Shula will give me a little bit of a little edge because his past, Shula career, Shula everything. Probably it was a big name to come to Miami, and probably the pressure was going to be big. To be honest with you, for the guy, and I tell you, he did good with the Rams. He really did. He deserved a coaching, yeah. But in that part, at least I say, well, he comes from a coaching family, experienced family from the NFL and all that. But this here with this guy, I don't know, man. I don't feel comfortable. I mean, I'm sorry. I just don't feel comfortable, you know. And not bringing, like I said, if anybody get this the wrong way, it's not that I don't like the guy. I think, like Aquavale just said, give the guy a chance, right? I'm gonna give him a chance. But how well, knowing the fan base in Miami, how well will you give this guy a chance? Because the moment we start losing, oh my gosh, you know what's gonna happen, and I don't want that to happen. And then we're gonna sit here and say, well, George, first year, you understand, you gotta give him a chance, But then all that talk, I could get a job here, get in the press conference, and I could start saying, man, I'm gonna take this team and I'm gonna turn it around. I'm gonna get rid of everybody in this staff. Is that gonna make a difference? Who knows, right? It's gonna be interesting. I look at this; it's gonna be very interesting. And I try to tell Dolphin fan the best you could do is just have patience. Have patience because this is a long ride, and there's no other way to say it. And listen, I want to stay positive, and I hate repeating myself, but that's the only way I see it. Tomorrow, anything could change. Yeah, you know, I will let you see one thing with the Dolphins with Tua Tagovailoa, and this is going to be probably very hard to do. Don't know who wants him, and I think nobody will want him. Yeah, that's true. That's true. My thing is, can the Dolphin trade Tua? Can the Dolphin try to get something for Tua? Did Tua hurt himself last year or this year because it combined both years? That really hurt his market by saying, man, really, he's not good enough. He's not a bad quarterback, but he's not a good quarterback either. But then here comes his injuries, his past injuries, his hip, his concussion. See, when all that comes in, man, and you are a head coach and you're coming in this league and you pay this man $54 million. Thank you, Greer. Thank you. Chris Greer, thank you so much. You really help us, buddy. I'm just joking. I mean, listen, that'd be funny just to tell Tua, hey man, can I take 20 millions up from your contract so I can get a couple of players in here and this? And, I mean, restructure the contract, rework the contract, eat the contract. Imagine paying a quarterback in the bench $54 million. You know that ain't gonna happen in this league. You're not gonna pay $54 million to a quarterback just sitting on the sidelines. That ain't gonna happen. So something has to be done. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna have two lovers and two haters here because, but he gave us a couple of good years. He gave it the best he came. We came close. We made to the playoffs. The last playoff he got injured. We had Skylar Thompson playing against the Buffalo Bills. Mike McDaniel forgot to call a timeout, ran the clock out. Okay, Coach McDaniel. All right, then we go to Kansas City. Tua take us there. Tua cold weather cannot play. Tyreek Hill drop a ball. I mean, we could go on and on. Okay, so it's funny how Heffley says this. I want players that can compete, that can come into the locker room, whether defeat or win, still tell their team it's okay. We got next week to go. Good luck with that. Looking at this roster, man, and they got a lot of potential. See now, what do I see for the Dolphins next year? All right, I'm gonna tell you right now. It's early, but this is what I want to see. And maybe Aqua, you might agree with this. But you, oh man, hey, I hope Tua could join my membership and pay me the membership here at my at my thing. But anyhow, the funny part is this. Okay, here's my stuff I want to see for 2026 Dolphins. Right, it starts with the offensive line. So I'm not worried about A Chain. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not worried about A Chain. I'm not worried about Wright. I'm not worried about our running back backfield. Ollie Gordon. Like I say, I'm not worried about that. All right. I'm not worried about Patrick Paul either, but I'm worried about one guy. That's Jonah. So now, the rookies. Both rookies had a bad season on the defensive side and on the offensive side. And these two guys, okay, the guy from Michigan, you know, he has to show up this year. Now, I know that Zach Sealer was teaching him, and Zach Sealer was having the best season. Then Zach Sealer picked it up at the end. It's hard to train a rookie at the same time. And then you come up and you say, wow, what's going to happen here? Well, now you have a year in your belt. Jonah has a year in his belt. Let's see what you could do. Now, what I want to see is the first year rookies on their second year and see how they develop. Because I'm going to tell you something. When Jeff, the coach of the Dolphins, announces his players, that's another thing, Uncle Vale, I freaked out. He didn't mention Tua on the conversation. He mentioned players like A-Chain. And I'm like, wow. Tua was not in the conversation. He mentioned players like Zach Sealer. Okay, Brooks was injured all year and still played like a beast out there. These are the players he says he wants in his team. Tua was not even mentioned in the conversation. And he said this, these players are the future of the Miami Dolphins. Man, what does that tell you? What a red flag he just threw out there. If you don't know how to read body language, you got to hear that when he said that. I said, wow. Basically, he told Tua, listen, if you can't win in the fourth quarter, if you can't bring your team and bring them back, we just don't need you. But basically, he called the future ahead of time in the media. And these names that I mentioned, he did mention them. These are the guys I want fighting for this team in the locker room. I mean, yeah, that's right, Agoville. Listen, what happened to that man? I would like to know what happened to Tua. There's something there that I believe I said it off season last year to this year. There's something there that we as fans don't know, but there's something there that I believe down the road a conversation will come up. Listen, I'm gonna say this, and I say this with respect and all that. Don't be surprised Tua Tagovailoa retires from the NFL. I would not be surprised Tua said, "Listen, I'll hang it up." Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if nobody wants him, nobody wants to pick him up. Nobody, because the moment the Dolphins release it, and he is not be picked up, because if he's picked up for any team around this league, the best I could tell you, he's gonna be a backup quarterback. It hurts to say that, but he is gonna be a backup quarterback. Now that somebody out there will give him a chance, maybe. I mean, I even heard the Jets name. I even heard the Cardinals name. Arizona Cardinals, New York Jets. Just don't put them in our conference. I mean, our division. Sorry, not a conference, our division. Don't put two in our division. But once again, uh, every team that picks him up, they're taking a risk, and I believe they're taking a risk. Well, you see, and I believe that, and that's a good point, because and not only that Darren said it, I heard other podcasters say the same thing. That mentally, remember when you have a Teron Armstead, okay, blocking you, helping you out, Well, it could be. I mean, but I heard it from no, but that's a good point because listen, you knew already when you had Tehran. See, that's what Tehran said that, and you could see that on Tehran podcast because Tehran, man, he's so professional and he talks so well about Tua because they're teammates and they work together. And when you know you have the security in front of you, okay, they say, man, I got this man. I know I'm not gonna get hit. You're right. It stays in your mind. But knowing that you don't got that guy, now you got Jonah from the draft pick. I mean, I know he's a rookie. Okay, that's fine. He's gonna make mistakes. Patrick Paul, man, I mean, what a development, Patrick Paul. The moment that Tehran took him and said, hey, man, this is the way this works. Brewer, center. I mean, but if you're going to go with that mindset in every game, I don't have my protector in front of me, you're not going to win in this league. So you're actually basically saying, whatever I got up front is not good enough. Think about it. Whatever I got up front is not good enough. So let me go ahead and say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and play with what I got here. And then run to my left, one to my right. Don't know what happened, but it is scary. It is a mindset thing. Yeah, you're right. It could be a mindset thing, something to worry about. Why? Because if that's stuck in his mind, then guess what? Anywhere he goes, he can't play. I don't care how big you build an offensive line for Tua. It doesn't matter. But I mean, right now it doesn't. Like I say, it doesn't look good. It really doesn't look good for Tua. It doesn't. And now in Miami, anywhere he goes, I'll be honest with you. And whoever picks him up, good luck. Because the reason is they know what they're getting. And not knocking Tua down, guys, because he had a good year and everything. It's just that it happens. This is the National Football League, and let's be honest, it's a business, and you know what they want, what the owners want? They want a W. They don't want an L in their column. They want a W. Yeah, you're right. I mean, and I agree everything you said tonight, Aquavale. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, you wanna stay positive. You wanna remain positive. You wanna encourage the guy, and you wanna say, hey man, he's a good player, and he is. He's a good man. He's a good family man and everything. But listen, you play sports. This is physical, and you gotta get ready for it. I mean, and if your body really says, hey, it's time to shut down, you shut it down. The only problem is, yes, okay, I know you love the game of sports, and who doesn't love the game of sports? But you're risking yourself, man. You're risking yourself. I remember when we started this a while back and say, hey, man, the moment he got the concussion, he should retire. He should call it quits. What did he goes? He goes to the podium. He tells everybody, I don't care what anybody says. I love this game. I'm still gonna play it. And so far, I mean, I feel good about it. Well, look what happened last year. This year, if that's what he has in his body, man, good luck, buddy. And like I said, I'm not a doctor. I apologize. I'm not a doctor. I'm not. But man, this is scary. It is scary. I tell everybody it's scary. And what's gonna happen to Tua? We don't know. But we know what this owner and this GM and this coach wants, and they want a new team, and I don't want to use rebuild because that rebuild has been in my mind all the time. Rebuild, rebuild. We don't need to rebuild because the word is now rebuilding. Evaluation, you might say evaluation. I know Tyreek Hill's not going to be here. That was already talked about. Are we going to sign Tyreek Hill? I don't think they are. They'll save money if they cut him in a certain date, and that's I was looking at my thing too, and I'll do a program, a show on that when I get a chance. Uh, about Tyreek Hill's salary, about the player salary, what they could cut. I mean, there's certain days you could cut players, you could save 10 million, 20 million. Uh, Unfortunately, I still believe that the Penguin might not be here. The Cheetah and Penguin might be gone. Because I don't know what happened to him either. What happened to Waddle? Yeah, I totally believe with you. I mean, I also believe that. I I said it once, and somebody told me a year, 2 years ago, and was saying, "Man, George, I mean, yeah, you haven't played sports. Listen, I understand that you love and you have a passion of the game, but you also have a wife, two kids, and a family. Somebody told me, well, George, concussion can happen anywhere. He could go on the boat, hit his head, and he could have a concussion. Okay, I understand that. I totally understand that. But what is your priority? What is more impressive to me? I remember when he used to, go in the podium and you can see the difference already. When he used to come in and he used to blame himself and used to criticize himself and said that it was his fault that he needs to get better. That changed it. That changed last year and the year before. Start pointing fingers, and then that's the accountability. He thought that it was good for about talking bad about his teammates. I don't think that was accountability. I think he just got afraid and he just said what he had to say. And then you're saying people are not going to the meeting, and he wasn't then. I mean, like I said, it was a total chaos in Miami with him and McDaniel and Chris Greer. Now, our new regime, if you want to call it, a new, and hopefully, I pray to God that really, really this team could wake up this year, and I hope they can make a stride. I don't know. I just feel that I don't feel I don't feel comfortable, guys. I don't feel comfortable with the coach. I don't. I don't. I think he's gonna have to show me more than what he is. I am comfortable with the GM, but I'm just not comfortable with the coach. I'm not. And I know some guys and some people are gonna be upset about it, but that's okay. It's my personal opinion. I just don't feel comfortable yet. I just don't. I don't know what he has. I really don't. I love his. I love his talk. I love his conversation. I love his press conference. I love what he's telling every reporter. And it's funny how he was told today the same thing, and he said, "Well, if you want any quarterback situation or any quarterback question, go refer to Sullivan, the GM." I said, "Wow." Hey, what's up, brother? How's it going? So and we have to be honest, man. At the end of the day, the end of the day, these players have family to go to, okay? But you play a sports that's physical, okay, dangerous, but you get paid well for it. But you have to remember, like you said, Alcoveo, uh, would you trade all that for your family? I don't think so. I think you should stop, react, think about it, and move on. And say, hey, you know what? I had a great career. Listen, he won a national championship with beating Georgia. Alabama beat Georgia. So he's been a champion, okay? But will you risk that? Would you put your life in danger? Will you put situation? And listen, I know he loves the sport, just passionate in sports. Hey, buddy. Yeah, man. It's. I feel that we need to. Sometimes we need to, as fans, right? As fans, sit back and relax and think about about all this is going on with this team. Okay. I started earlier talking about what's going to happen to this team with a new head coach. Uh, but there's priorities that you got to put first before all this, uh, guys. And sometimes we don't do that. And listen, nothing with Tua, nothing wrong with Tua, nothing wrong with professional football player. They're human beings at the end of the day. Love them as you see them. The only thing is, are you gonna love the money or are you gonna love the guy up there? That's my only question. You worship money, you're in trouble. Don't worship money. It's good to have money, but that's the point. It's not all about money. And then you got fans that are gonna come back and really attack you and say, "Hey, man, how bad you are." Tua's not a bad guy, like you said, Alcoville. Tua is not a bad guy. But he had to make a decision. Now Miami is stuck with a quarterback of $54 million and don't know what to do with it. And that is the hard part right now. What can they do? take the hit, take the cut? Can he be traded? Can he be released? I think it's more possible being released than traded. Can somebody want him? I don't know, guys. It's kind of scary out there right now. I don't know if somebody will want him. You know, yeah, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, let's be honest. NFL is a business. It is a total business, and that's what happens. It's a total business. And listen, you got to fill the stadium, right? So fans could go there and fill the stadium, and the owner has to make their money. But hey, but now with this new regime that they got here, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I mean, this is something that I'm hoping that the Dolphins could do something in years to come. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, and listen, I think McDaniel did a good job to develop him and help him out. The only problem is that the moment that you feel comfortable and confidence about you having a great offensive line and your main blocker or left tackle, right guard retires, and now you have an example like saying, "Man, do I trust my offensive line?" And that's what happened to Tua. Yeah, like I said, I doubt he'd be traded. He'd probably be released, and if he released, we'll take the hit. The same thing happened to Russell Wilson. Remember, the same thing Sean Payton did to Russell Wilson, which it was sad in Denver. Released him. They took that hit, and listen, they took Denver. Denver is what made it to the playoffs, and then now they make it to the Super Bowl. So I mean, they was going to the Super Bowl, but they didn't make it to the Super Bowl. They almost made it to the Super Bowl. Uh, New England beat them, but hey, it's things that we have to realize, man. This it's part of sports. It's a business. It's a business, and that's one thing that we as fans have to remember. Okay, it's a business. But what happened is when you haven't won in 26 years, especially this franchise, that's what really hurts the most. But then you can't blame all 26 years on Tua Tagovailoa. You got to blame 26 years on a general manager that was here, okay, the owner that should have made a move years ago, okay, because if we continue to add money and add pride and selfish individual in our team, we're not going to succeed. Now, I respect every human being because I do that. Okay, I am not perfect. I make mistakes also. But listen, you have to love what you're doing. If you don't love what you're doing, see, there's a passion when it comes to sports. There's players they don't like to lose, and that's their ego and that's the thing they like because they're so positive and they're betting on the winning team. When you go to a losing team, all that goes down the drain because you're not used to of losing. And I use Mike Tomlin as an example. Never lost, never had a losing season in NFL history since he became a Pittsburgh Steeler. But the moment he went 0-7 in the playoff, we all said, get him out of here. John Harbaugh, another winning coach, just because a rookie missed a field goal, you're out of here. You want to know the pressure, Aquaville? I said in the beginning. You know the pressure that really Harbaugh has. Are you ready? He signed a 5-year contract, $100 million. Plus, he got his own GM and his own $10 million for his staff, whatever. Watch this. In those 5 years, he better win 2 Super Bowls because the fan in New York what's gonna happen. All right, you bought me a coach here, and you got Dart as their quarterback. Great quarterback, great guy to develop around. And I know Harbaugh will do a good job. I know he will. But the fan wants a Super Bowl. They don't want a playoff. They want a Super Bowl. If you sign that guy for 5 years and you give him all that money, and this is where I'm worried about of all these things. Yeah, and that's what it is, James. You're right. I mean, it's like a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. I bought a stat, and if Aqua's still here, I bought a stat. I think I told you, coaches that have coached a 3-year contract, their winning percentage is 38% in this league. 3 years or less. 3 years or more. Well, see, that's what I'm saying, Marco. If he does that, then and I'm gonna say it. Knowing the fan in New York, trust me. Just look at the Jets fans, and now I'm talking about the Giants. But just knowing New York, man, no, man, they're gonna say there's no way you pay this guy $100 million, and he hasn't taken me to the Super Bowl. Let's say he makes 1 in 5 years. Okay, but right now I can see two in 5 years. Because if he doesn't do it, and if he doesn't do it at all, that's not good either. So that's something that I'm really worry about. And these are veteran coaches. I mean, I'm gonna give you one exemption right now. Andy Reid, Kansas City this year. All right, are they returning back to the playoffs? Are they returning back to the Super Bowl? I mean, it's gonna be tough for these older guys. That hey, man, your time has passed you by. And listen, it's okay by saying your time has passed you by. Sometimes you need a free, refresh start. Maybe, like I say, Mike Tomlin is going to sit the whole year. Uh, yeah, that's it, and that's the word exactly. I mean, be more supportive, but like I say, man, when it comes to, I see Mike Tomlin probably sit the rest of the year. I see McDermott for the Buffalo Bills. He might sit down for the whole year. He might take a break. He might rest. He might say, "Hey, let me take time off." And sometimes that's good. See, that's what Grable did from New England. He was beside the guy from the Cleveland Browns, Stefanski. He was I think as an assistant coach, whatever he was doing in Cleveland, and he took time off. He learned this. He observed. He took his observation about these coaches, about loving players. Getting to know the players. And that's one thing about the NFL. It's getting more united. More coaches getting involved in players. Personnel, which is a good thing. Which is a good thing, because that's what you need. You can't beat a player down every freaking week. But listen, if you didn't hear what Grable did, and I heard it from one of the players, and probably Aquaville heard this. I mean, they came to him, hey, can we celebrate this one? He says, hey, you missed curfew, and you don't get in that bus tomorrow morning to go back home and get in the plane. You're not playing the Super Bowl. And one of the reporters told the guy, was it true that he said that? He goes, yeah, he did say that. So there's the accountability I'm talking about, because he said just because he won this one, it doesn't mean that we're champions. No, you still got the Super Bowl to go to. And that's a great remark, That's a great remark. And I have nothing against that. But okay, but his first year to go to New England, and we all said it, because I even said it. We all said it. Hey, man, it's going to be tough for them. It's a tough year with a young quarterback, Stephon Diggs. When we said it, probably another troublemaker and all that, because he was out in the media. And listen, all that's not true. They got together. He put them together. He sat down with them together. He built that culture together. And look at that. Fun ride and where they are in the Super Bowl. And that's what counts. Same thing, Seattle. All right? Sam Darnold, great quarterback. Yeah, I mean, going back with Sam Darnold, okay? Go to Minnesota. Great year in Minnesota. Missed the playoff. Great record. Let him go. Goes to Seattle. Takes him there. A guy that never got credit. All right? Never. And I tell you, he was in the Jets. He was in Carolina Panthers. And man, did they talk bad about the guy, how good, how bad he is. And man, he's turned into a winning quarterback. It's the culture around him. It's the player around him. The positivity that's around that individual to make him succeed. Now, is it going to be perfect every week? No, it's not going to be perfect every week. But look where he's at right now in the Super Bowl, which, by the way, Friday night when I go live. Well, if I don't go live, I'll do a video on Friday night. Uh, if I don't know if you guys know, I do my. I don't know if I show you Uncle Vale. I'm just gonna do two. I just came live tonight, but I'm gonna do two shows. One is a Monday night sports breakdown, and the other one's Friday night. But it's not a breakdown. It's I think it's preview, and I'm gonna give all my. I'm gonna give my prediction and my score of the Super Bowl on Friday for that week. So give you guys. Of course, we got the Pro Bowl first, then we got the Super Bowl. Uh, but listen, we can. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and you're right. You're right, James. I mean, listen. Everything goes together. Everything really is together, guys. The chemistry, the accountability, the supporting cast, all that comes in together and play when it comes into a coaching staff. Now you can be soft in this league. Let's be honest. You can be soft in this league. But the only thing is, you have to be a caring person. You really care. How many people make mistakes? Listen, that's okay, but you really care. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. Uh, Back to this franchise, it's going to be interesting for the 2026-27 Dolphins. Can't say McDaniel did a bad job. There's things that McDaniel could improve, and I think now by being the offensive coordinator for the Chargers, might give him that ability, more experience, more time, more decision making to learn that. Who knows, right? Who knows? We're not perfect. None of us are perfect. We're imperfect, and we try to do the best we can. So the best I can say about these players is the same thing in coaches, But remember, you play in a league where the pressure is big. Why? Because now you're talking about the 16 game season to a 17-game season. And by the way, I just heard the 18-game season. And that is incredible. And that is so crazy, to tell you the truth. How can these players play 18 games? And you're right. Yeah, we got to remain, yeah, we got to be positive. And that's all you can do. I mean, listen, we cannot win every game. We just can't. It'll be nice to win every game. Only one team did it, the Miami Dolphins. One team that did it was the Miami Dolphins in 1972, undefeated. But how was that team undefeated? How was that team made it to a perfection? Uh, you got to stay positive. You got to work together as a team. Okay, you got to be in the same, probably same point as every player in the team. I guarantee you, Shula didn't have no negativity around that team. I guess you, Shula know how to coach that team. Okay, when you were down, I think Shula will pick you up. I mean, who knows? Who knows? And it's so hard to be on the negative side of all these things because there's negativity around here. But that's just because if you want to listen, yeah, and that's it. And you're right, James. They were stuck together. I mean, they've been together, and that's what I'm saying. It's a family thing. Okay, football supposed to be a family thing. It's supposed to be everybody together, united as a family thing. But you always have a selfish individual, and sorry to say that you have a guy that has an ego, that has pride. But you can work around that. You really can. Okay, because we all have to be in the same page. Now we don't have to agree with each other. We don't have to because everybody has different opinion. But you gotta remain positive. You gotta stay positive. Win, lose or draw. You lose a game, it's not the end of the world. All right. But then you look at the fan side of it, the fan side, and this is the part that I think I talked to you about. It's about the the fanatics and the fans. That's two different things. People don't understand that fanatics and fans are two. Oh no, they're the same thing, George. No, they're not the same thing, guys. They're not the same thing. All right. You take sports, you can't take it so personal, and that's what happened. People takes it personal. Why? Because we do have, and and I don't do it on my program. Just to let everybody know, I don't go into gambling or betting and all that because I just don't do that, right? And that's everybody's personal opinion, and I respect that. Okay, but at the same time, all right, these players, once again, they're human beings. That's the part we don't understand. I mean, did I like Tariq Hill to go every night and get 12 catches, 150 yards, and 3 touchdowns? Heck yeah. But we know that's not going to happen. We got to be real. Do I want Tua to throw for 325 yards and throw four touchdowns and 2 interceptions and 1 interception a game? Heck yeah. It's not going to happen. And you say, wow, you sound negative. No, I'm not sounding negative. It's just realistic. That is part of sports. And people don't understand that. Okay? Because what we want is the word I'm going to find out consistency. We don't want you to get 300 yards a game, but be consistent, right? So you start winning. So here's my question to everybody: you want to go 4-1 or 1-4? Well, that's easy, right? Well, I want to go 4-1, but you still lost one. You see what I'm saying? You still lost one game. Yeah, but the other one I won. Yeah, but you still won one. So somewhere in there is confidence. Somewhere in there's something building, and this is where everybody doesn't understand that. And that's the world of sports. And listen, let's be honest. We're not perfect. We're not that perfect, especially like Jesus is. God is. God is perfect. I'm sorry to say that, but I'm gonna say the truth. You know, the man that has no error. Okay, we make error, and sometimes we just gotta deal with it and work with it and move on from it. But it is sports, and sometimes we have to understand that. Hey, let me get this picture. Give me a second. Let me get this picture in. And close it down a little bit. There we go. And that's one thing that I want fans to know and understand, guys. It's just remain, stay positive, work together, do it together. How do you win? You win together. You lose together, and that's how life is, guys and girls. This is what I tell everybody. Uh, if we could change the world, which we can, that would be nice. But once again, you got 32 teams in the NFL, and they only have one goal, and that's to win the Super Bowl. And guess what? Only one team could win it out of 32 teams. Yep, amen. They do. They do. But that's something that I just tell my fans, and I tell you guys too, that you guys are here live tonight, and I appreciate you guys coming up tonight. And like I say, first time I came live in a while. It's whatever's around us is to remain positive. Hey, how you doing, Ellen? Hey, I saw your videos. Just to give you a heads up with the nurse. That was a great video. I did check it out. That's a great video. I appreciate you doing that. That was a nice video. So going back to the Dolphins staff. So basically, we got all the Green Bay Packers. By the way, Helen's a Green Bay Packer. So we got her GM, we got her defensive coach, and we got other players that we signed from Green Bay, and it's in Miami. Believe it or not. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Uh, and now it's what's going to happen, right? For the 2026-2027 Miami Dolphins. I tell everybody, let's wait and see. Let's stay positive and wait and see what's going to happen. Uh, I'm not going to predict anything. All I know for sure, as you guys are in the chat, and guys and girls, we only wish for the best, and that's what we wish for. We wish for every team in the NFL the best. We wish for the players to really do their best. What happened is we have to understand one thing, and I said it earlier, and Alan, I don't know if you heard me, but These guys are human beings. They're entitled to make mistakes. They're entitled to be accountable and responsible for what they do. But at the end of the day, you know what? They go home to a family, and they're a human being, and that's what I want to keep it at. I don't go too crazy when it comes to these, getting personal in players' life. I don't do that, guys. I really don't. You become a Dolphin. Listen, don't give up on your team, man. Don't give up on your team. Your team is a good team, okay? The only thing that hurt the Green Bay Packers the moment they lost their defensive player. And listen, you can't blame them. I mean, they were doing so well. I mean, they are a good team. I mean, I like LaFleur. If he's going to be there this year, I don't know yet. See, that's a coach I wanted. I wanted LaFleur to come to Miami, but it's okay. We got your defensive coach. So, but now you become a Dolphin. That's funny. No, I know you're a true Packer fan, so I know that already. Stay with your Packers. It's okay. Yeah, you're right. Never give up, buddy. Never give up. I mean, I don't. I mean, you just got to continue to. One thing is, I tell people, sports is entertainment, right? Don't let it get too much. Don't dwell too much on it. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay losing. It's okay winning. And when you are a franchise and you're used to winning, and you start losing, that's where everything changes and people get it too personal. And I'd say, don't get it personal. It's okay. I say, that's okay. Listen, I'm wishing the best, Alan. I like Helen. I like your GM that we have, but I'm not too crazy with your defensive coach. And I don't say that in a bad way. It's because he coached in the collegiate, Boston College. He hasn't coached yet in the NFL. Now he coaches a defensive coach, but he hasn't coached officially a game. So, but I'm gonna give him all the respect, and I pray to God that he does a good job here in Miami. I really do. Bigger city. When you become coaches of bigger city, they expect bigger. The expectations are bigger. New York, bigger city. Miami, Atlanta. Man, they look at these big cities. Man, they expect too much from you, and I think the pressure is on. Is on Harbaugh. Is on this guy that we just got in, uh, Jeff, and it's gonna be hard. I mean, it's gonna be hard, but that's pro football. But this is the guy I got here. This is the by the way, one guy I haven't talked to is right there. The guy in the Bobby Slowick, good offensive coordinator. Also, Jeff knows him. They worked together before, so that is a plus. So if you see, he's building a foundation around him to make this team better. Now, you can build a foundation around you, but now comes the player. Remember this: does a player agree on your plan? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And what I mean by that is that you build this culture, you build this staff with you, and you bring them in, and you say, "This is what we're gonna work with." Some player like that, some player don't, and sometimes accountability, yeah, is good. Sometimes it's not good. It depends how you use it, and that's sports, by the way. So listen, just to give you a heads up, I put there's a little chat on there that we have super chat. That is something new that I just started to, and we also have membership, and that hopefully later on, I got permits, I get going and start getting all this acquainted. I'm working on my hours on YouTube. I'm trying to get caught up as much as I can. Hopefully, God permits, everything will be done by the end of this month, and hopefully, I could get more information. I am going to talk about every football team, not only Miami Dolphins. I did talk about a little bit of John Harbaugh today. I talk about little other coaches that have signed in other teams today. The pressure's on. Their expectation is high for this team, and I think for any NFL team, okay, their expectation is high. And when you bring these new head coaches and you pay this big contract, I'm gonna tell you they have to win, right? Because that's the force that the owner does to the actually coaches. They go to the GM and say, "Hey, we hired this coach. We pay so much money. You got to give me a Super Bowl." And that is so hard to do, guys and girls. That is so hard to do. But that's what's going on. It's a total business. The NFL is a total business. And I tell that to everybody. It is a total business. And that's what it is. We all have winning franchise, losing franchise. Uh, there's a lot of good teams out there that have not made the Super Bowl. Some have made the Super Bowl, and thank God for that. But we have to still remain positive. Don't get negative about your team. Every team is, you can say, in the develop. They have to develop uh, the culture, the accountability, the stuff that we talked about earlier, that we're seeing across the league now. Okay, because the pressure. I mean, and we talked about earlier. If you join us, Harbaugh was moved from the Ravens, let go. Tomlin was let go from the, and which he stepped down. But truthfully, they was going to get rid of him. Now they got McCarthy, and you got Pittsburgh Steelers fan upset about it. They think McCarthy is not good enough as a coach. Uh, will he will he be together again with Aaron Rodgers? Who know, guys and girls? I don't know. He was told that in the conference. If Aaron Rodgers come back, would he accept Aaron Rodgers? He said yes, but the yes that he said didn't sound too good about it. But hey, you know, and these are the coaches that I said that maybe their time has passed them by already, or they just need to take a break for a year. Some into broadcasting, some goes into podcasting, and like I'm doing tonight, and then they go back to 1 year later. They come back to coaching a team. Who knows? I mean, you look at it, and sometimes they come back and they're successful. Uh, I don't wish McCarthy bad, guys, not at all. A Green Bay Packer, great coach, head coach. LaFleur took over, okay, but now he's in Pittsburgh. But the fans are not happy. I understand why, and totally understand why. But you got to give a person a chance, no matter what. At the end of the day, you got to give them a chance. So, but listen, I want to thank everybody that has actually joined the chat. Thank you so much tonight for joining the chat. I appreciate it so much. Be sure you guys hit the like button. You have the comments. Anything you want to add to the comment after the live, and that's fine. I can answer you any kind of questions you guys need about your team. If you want to bring your team up, I have Eagle fans, I got Pittsburgh fans, I got Green Bay Packer fans. Okay, I got Dolphins, plenty of Dolphins too. So, I let you bring every team up so we could talk about it because I want to see how you guys feel about your team. I also want to feel that, you think that John Harbaugh going to the Giants was a good idea. Uh, Listen, I said it from the beginning. The expectations are high. Yeah, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you for joining in. I appreciate it. I'll see you probably tomorrow at work. I'll call you tomorrow. You have a good night, brother. So, you want to stay positive. You want to remain, focused. And like I said, join the chat, leave your comments, tell me how you really feel. I mean, and we'll talk about it. And listen, I'm not gonna talk nothing bad about it because I know Harbaugh has his hand full. By the way, I mean he's coming into the league, into a new team. So thank you, brother. Coming into a new team and the Giants and the Giants' expectations are going to be high rocket. So as soon as we at Dolphins, we got a new GM, new coach, and our expectation also high rocket. But we can't say much because the season's not here yet. We got Pro Bowl coming up. We got Super Bowl coming up. By the way, don't forget the Super Bowl that's coming up also. And don't forget, you could leave your picks. I'll do my picks on Friday night, even though I'm early. We still time for the Super Bowl, like what, 2 weeks from now. the Super Bowl will be. So you got Patriots and Seahawks. I think it's gonna be a great matchup, a great game. Hopefully, I mean, we have fun with that game. I mean, great year for Grable, 14-3, and Sam Donald, 14-3 with the Seahawks. So good matchup for the Super Bowl. So, but listen, I'm gonna let you guys go because I had to work actually tomorrow. Once again, I want to thank everyone that joined the chat tonight. Alco Vale, Helen, James. If I missed somebody, I think I did. I came in earlier. Let me see right here. Yeah. And listen, check everybody channel. Support one another. Help one another. That's the main thing. Most of all, love one another. Listen, you guys have a good night. And once again, fins up. Thank you so much.